Thank you, Bree. Tennessee's Attorney General insists he has no interest in targeting women who go out of state for abortions. Jonathan Skrmetti faced those allegations in recent weeks as a result of a letter he signed with other Republican AGs.
That is why, as part of our continuing revealed investigation of Capitol Hill, our chief investigative reporter Phil Williams sat down for an exclusive interview with the Attorney General. Phil?
In my interview, General Skrmetti may have made some news with his hints that even if they wanted to, state lawmakers probably would not be able to make it illegal for women to cross state lines to seek abortions. Still, he has faced recent accusations that he may have ulterior motives.
It's just a total canard that I might be going after people who go out of state for abortions.
Since taking office almost a year ago, Tennessee Attorney General Jonathan Skrmetti has found himself facing repeated criticisms from the left. The latest issue, access to abortion records from other states.
Tennessee's Republican Attorney General now says he intends to effectively follow you out of state to get your medical records to see if you got an abortion somewhere else, even in a state where it's legal.
It came after 19 Republican AGs sent this letter. Skrmetti was among those signing, opposing a proposed rule from the Biden administration that would prohibit abortion health records from states where abortion is legal from being released to investigators in states where the procedure is illegal.
Some people seized on that to say, well, if he opposes this rule, he must want to go after women who are going out of state for abortion. That's just not true.
The Tennessee AG argues the proposed rule would limit the state's ability to investigate the shipment of abortion drugs into Tennessee in defiance of the state's ban.
If somebody's sending abortion drugs into Tennessee, that's a violation of both federal law and Tennessee state law. And I'd previously sent a letter to some of the drug companies just letting them know it's illegal to ship these drugs into Tennessee.
This is your private medical records being turned over to hostile attorneys general. What else are they going to do with this?
And yet the fears among abortion rights advocates persist.
Tennessee's laws do not affect women, they target the providers.
So, for example, if the legislature passed a law that says it's illegal for women to cross state lines to get an abortion, could these records not be used to prosecute those women?
I think there's a real constitutional issue that would have to be looked at as to whether the legislature could do that. I mean, this is America. People have a right to travel. And so I don't want to speculate too much, but I think there would be significant constitutional impediments if that were ever an issue.
Of course, abortion rights advocates fear that even with those hesitations, some Republican lawmakers still may want to test that legal question, which is why there is so much distrust of the AG's position. Phil Williams, News Channel 5 Investigates.
Thank you, Phil. Phil's been doing a lot of investigating into AG Skrmetti. That includes the extensive interview where Skrmetti defended his investigation of Vanderbilt University Medical Center's transgender clinic. You can see this report along with all of other Phil's revealed stories right here on our website.